Okay, guys, so once again, we want to complete the square. I'm going to go over the rules for the millionth time because they're very important. Number one, you need to make sure to leave the constant alone. To leave the well, first of all, a constant is a number that doesn't have a letter in front of it. Like, for example, in this case, it's the negative 300, because no matter what is x, negative 300 will always stay negative 300 because it doesn't have an x next to it. Well, how do we leave negative 300 alone? Simple. Let's move the 300 to the other side. Bam. So our new equation is 4x squared plus 40x plus something. Here's the square that we're going to try to fill, is equal to 300. All right, so let's move on to step number 2. Step number 2 is the coefficient. Coefficient of x squared has to be a 1. In this case, look at the x squared. X squared actually has a 4 in front of it. Well, if we want to leave it to 1, we have to divide it by itself, because 4 divided by 4 is 1. That's what we want. But if we do it to one number, we have to do it to all of them. Every single number you see right now. So let's do some math here. So when you do 4 divided by 4, it's actually x squared. 1x squared, you could say. 40 divided by 4 is just 10x plus something. And that equals 30 divided by 4. That's a 75. Okay. The coefficient of x squared is a 1. Now what we do is we do perfect squares. If you guys don't remember a perfect square, we talked about it a few units ago. A perfect square is that when you have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, that can be factored into a plus b to the power of 2. Well, let's figure this out, guys. We need to find out what is a. We need to find out what is b. Well, a, notice that the a has a 1 in front already. So what do you think a is? You guessed it, is actually just x. You found that already. Good to go. So a is equal to x. The next one, we cannot find b just by looking at this because it's empty. It could be anything. To really figure this out, guys, we have to look at the middle, which is 10x is equal to 2ab. So 10x is equal to 2ab. But guys, didn't we just say that a is equal to x? So couldn't I just replace the a with an x? Don't forget there was a b there. Could I just say this? So if I were to divide, let's leave the b alone. Divide those two. These cancel. The x's cancel. So in reality, b is equal to 10 over 2. But guys, what's 10 over 2? Isn't it just 5? Well, we found our letter b. So in reality, when we factor this, guys, our a is x plus our b is 5. When we square it, we get this. But lo and behold, guys, we did not fill the square. What was supposed to go here, guys? If b is 5, well, what's 5 squared? 5 squared is actually 25. And we use this, guys, to factor it to this. Here's a problem, though. You just magically added a 25 to the left side. So what else were you supposed to do? If you're going to do it on the left, you have to do it on the right side. So we have 100 on the right side. Now let's go ahead and solve for x. Let's find the square root. So we have x plus 5 is equal to, what's the square root of 100? It could be actually two different things. It could be a positive or a negative 10. Because remember, guys, 10 squared is 100. Or negative 10 squared could also be 100. Those are your two possible options. So let's split them. X plus 5 equals 10. Or x plus 5 equals negative 10. Oh, look at that. I already have it down here. And once again, let's subtract the 5. Subtract the 5. When you do this, my answer could be either x equals 5 or x equals negative 15. All right. Now, one more thing I could do, if you want to check your answer, you could also do this. Let's go to Desmos. Desmos is a great website. It's free and it has apps for free. You can check. Let's plug this in. 4x squared, the original problem. 4x squared, what else was it? Plus 40x. Was it plus or minus 300? Minus 300. Minus 300 is equal to 0. But you don't need the 0. You can just look at this. So now, look at your parabola. Isn't it crossing through negative 15 and 5? It's crossing through negative 15 and 5. So that means that my answer has to be negative 15 and 5. Just like in my multiple x's here. And that's how you do it.